Everyone, to the York Angel Investors LaunchHub Virtual Demo Day. My name is Galen, Udell, and I'm the Executive Director of York Angel Investors, and along with Wei Hua from LaunchHub, we will be your host. This is something brand new for us, and like with anything that is virtual and pre-taped, some things can go wrong, and we really plan for the best and hope that everything does work out. So bear with us if there are any technical glitches as we move along. I'd like to start, first of all, say thank you very much for all of you for taking the time out of your busy day to come and see some of our portfolio companies, as well as some of the incubated companies from LaunchHub. LaunchHub is also a member of York Angel Investors as an investor company with their fund, and Wei will talk a little bit more about that a little later on. So for many of you in the audience, there are a number of people who are not members of York Angels, and just want to take a second and just give you a little bit of update of who we are. So we're a not-for-profit. We were founded in 2008. And since 2008, we've invested in over $27 million in 210 startups, which is pretty impressive. We have 90 active angel investors. Those are a mix of both corporate and individual investors. And our goal is to really to create superior financial returns for ourselves and the companies that we invest in. And we invest primarily in B2B and B2C SaaS. We also invest in fintech, clean tech, IoT, as well as marketplace solutions, just to name a few. So if any of you are interested in becoming a York Angel member, just let us know. You must be an accredited investor in order to join, but we would welcome hearing from any of you. My email address is at the bottom, and feel free to reach out to me if you want to know more about York Angel Investors as a member. Just a little bit about what we do in supporting the ecosystem. And so York Angel Investors, we run monthly investment meetings based on some deal flow that we work within the ecosystem to try to drive the best talent forward in the startup world. But it's not only through the investing that we make a mark in the marketplace. We do a lot of support for startups through mentoring, through advising, through connecting them into other companies. As well, we work with a lot of ecosystem partners out there. So whether that be government organizations, the incubators, VCs, PE firms, but also specialized service providers. Those would be people like accounting firms, law firms, financial organizations. And we have some great relationships with some of those partners out there. So again, if you are in one of those service providers and you're interested in wanting to connect into the startup world, please feel free to reach out to us. We're always happy to have conversations with you to see how we can work with you to help connect you into that startup world, and also to help those startups get access to some of the best service providers out there. So with that, I wanted to hand it over to Wei. He's going to take you through a little bit of LaunchHub, and I'll be back with you guys all very shortly. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the York Angels and the LaunchHub joint demo day for this afternoon. I'm pleased to represent LaunchHub to discuss about our organization. My name is Wei Hua. I'm the co-CEO of LaunchHub. LaunchHub was created about 2 years ago, which is to provide as a platform for entrepreneurs and startups to be able to showcase their business to both Canada and the China markets, and it's meant to work both ways. And since then, we have done many roadshows to introduce particularly our Canadian startups to the Chinese market. And we also have since launched a venture capital fund to be able to invest in some of the promising startups. And we also provide incubation services to some of the startups as they grow. The management team involved myself, I'm actually an accountant in trade. And also my co-CEO is David Lalapate. He's a technology and corporate lawyer. He's actually currently is based in Dubai. And my other partner is Zan Mao. And Zan is a professional fund manager and has a lot of experience in venture capital as well as in bringing startups to IPO kind of background. As I mentioned earlier, LaunchHub has organized, including this demo day, will be 14 roadshows across here in Canada as well as in China. And as seen in the picture, we got a lot of good support from our ecosystems, both in Canada and in China. And in particular, the attendance once by the federal, international trade, and small business minister, Mary Yin. LaunchHub, since its inception, has portfolio companies now include about 25 companies, including remote AR, a 3D scanner, SaaS, interestingly, food delivery, energy storage, and many other ventures. And we are, some of them will be presented today, and we're looking forward for their growth, and LaunchHub will grow with them. Thanks very much, Galen. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Wei. That's great. I think that we want to move on with everything. We've got an amazing day set up for you with some fantastic startups. So we have 3 companies that are portfolio companies of York Angels: TROES, Neurovine, and Willful, as well as LiveCity, Roll, Mentors, and Telitek, that are all from the incubator at LaunchHub. The format for today is that we have approximately 10-minute pre-recorded pitches from all of the companies. But there will be a live 45-minute Q&A with the founders after we're done. So we really strongly suggest that as you're listening to the pitches, if you have any questions, please use the Q&A section down at the bottom of your screen. You can load those in while the presentations are going on. And then once we get to the live section, we will then read those live to the founders. You'll also have an opportunity to continue to ask questions while the founders are doing their questions and answers at the end. As well, you can provide any feedback or comments in the comment section, in the chat section. We're also with that. And we will have the ability to have you book time with the founders. If you are an accredited investor, you'll have an opportunity to book time with the founders. Next week, we are setting aside 2-hour time slots. And you'll see those all at the end of when those are available, and then the ability for you to then sign up to meet up with the founders. So without further ado, we are going to move on to our first presentation, which is Roll.
Hi everyone, my name is Richard. I'm the CEO and founder of Roll. We are a dockless electric scooter share company. We founded this company back in March 2019, and that was straight out of the University of Toronto as a student startup. Right now, we are the only Canadian company that is in the market operating. We are operating in Calgary, Ottawa, and Kelowna. We're also in discussion with more cities for future collaboration. And the problem we're targeting is very simple. We're targeting transportation problem in the urban area. So if you're in downtown, then you will realize that going to somewhere is not that easy. You either drive, but driving is very time consuming and very costly, or you can take public transit. But there's always that last mile problem that is very inefficient with public transit. So the solution we came up with is shared electric scooters. So this is how it works. We put all of these beautiful electric scooters on the street, and people can download our app, use the app to unlock it, and ride it to anywhere they want. It's fully electric. That means the scooter can help them to skid through the traffic to save them time and effort. And the best part is totally dockless. That means after your ride, you don't have to return the scooter to a station or to a dock. You can just park it in front of your office building, and next customer, they can come and use it. We're not the only company, and we're not the first company doing this. There have been American companies have been implementing this business idea in some US cities, but we noticed that there are many challenges faced by the industry, and we as ROE are tackling down those challenges. One of them is safety. So many regulators, they're concerning about safety. They're also concerning about parking issues. And also, right, as industry as a whole, the lifespan of scooters is not that good. So according to our competitors' report, the scooter can only last for 1 month or 2 months. We're tackling down all those issues faced by the industry, and we are tackling down by our innovative technologies. So we developed our own IoT, and the advanced IoT technology actually allow us to come up with more safety enhancing features and parking improving features. For example, we look at the data, we understand there's about 1/3 of the scooter related injuries happen during the first 10 minutes of the ride because people didn't know how to ride it. So on our app, if you are the first time user, then we will set the speed limit a little bit lower for you. So you can learn it first, have a safer learning experience first. And we also have lower speed zone. What that means is that in some part of the city, like school zone or very dense entertainment district, you don't want people to ride this really fast there. So when the person ride our scooter enter this area, we will set the speed limit automatically lower so they can ride it safely. We also are adopting machine learning algorithms to help us to improve parking issues. For example, when you're using our scooter, after your ride, you have to take a picture of the scooter just parked. And on our backend, we're using machine learning algorithm to analyzing the picture to identify if that's a wrong parking or right parking. So there you go, technology to improve safety and parking issues. And how about the lifespan issue that we mentioned? So we also putting a lot of effort in our supply chain support. And we're very fortunate that we get a strategic partnership with scooter manufacturer, and they allow us to utilize their years of experience of R&D. And that's also the reason we're able to come up with our own scooter model. So most of our competitors, they would just, buy the standard model directly from vendor, and they do a little bit of the modification. But for us, we built our own model because we know the lifespan of scooter and the safety of the scooter is the most important thing. So our scooter is actually built to last longer and be more safe. So we have, for example, if we look at it, you have dual brake system. We also have front wheel suspension, a wider base, a stronger frame. And all of those features will contribute to the durability issue. Our scooter is actually 10 times more durable than our major competitors. And the target market that we're focusing are university college students, young professionals working in downtown area, also tourists. And all these people, they are heavy users of public transit. They can utilize our scooter as an alternative or a complement of public transit. And the market potential is incredible. So according to the consulting firm McKinsey, the shared micro-mobility market, including bike share and scooter share, will reach $300 billion to $500 billion by the year of 2030. So we see a huge potential in Canada. And we also see huge potential in other where around the world. For example, Australia, we have been evaluating a lot of potential in Australia. So we get a really good product, we get a really good market, but how do we actually sell it? Our go-to-market strategy is very straightforward. First thing, we have to get the operational permit from government by a RFP process. And right now we're doing such an excellent job in terms of RFP because we are a Canadian company. That's a plus. And we also have a different product that is safer and that is more durable, which is more environmental friendly. So we're doing a great job in terms of RFP process. Right now we have secure permits from Calgary, Kelowna, and Edmonton, and we're in very close discussion with Toronto, Vancouver, and the cities. We also utilize media to promote our business. Right now, we have been seen on CBC, Global News, CTV News, and more media outlets. We also engage our users with our users on social media. We have some strategic partnership. One of them is Calgary Film Festival. That is one of the recent ones. We also collaborate with local business and events to promote our business. And right now, we're doing such a good job in terms of customer acquisition and customer growth. And let's talk about how do we make money. So the pricing, the business model is very straightforward. We charge our users by the time of the rental. So it costs them $1 to start and 35 cents per minute. According to our data recently, excuse me, the average ride is 26 minutes and the daily revenue per scooter is $30. And also I have attached a graph to break down our profit margin and major expenses. So after all of the calculation, the lifetime profit per scooter is around $4,000. And keep in mind, the purchase price of the scooter is only around $600. So that is a really good number there. And in terms of operation, we utilize software to manage our operation. We develop our own operational mobile app. We develop our own dashboard, and we're utilizing these softwares to plan the operation. Essentially, we deploy all of the scooter on the field, and we collect them back at night, and we redeploy them in the next day morning. That's how we operate. And we have such a great team. They're very young, but they're very experienced. They're in their own field. So me personally, I operated several businesses during my university. Gertie is our operations officer. He previously worked at Olacabs. Olacab is an amazing ride-hailing company in India that is currently valued at $10 billion. And we also have Arda. Arda is our communications officer. He is a student politician, has a lot of experience working with committees and governments. And Jack is our CTO. He previously developed a food delivery app that is currently serving over 7 cities in Canada. And our future plan is to go to more markets and grow our fleet size. So this year we're operating in Ottawa, Calgary, and Kelowna. Next year we're going to more cities, including Toronto, Vancouver, Victoria, and more. In about 2 years, we plan to grow our business in Canada, but we're also expanding to other countries. Like Australia is a really good choice because they're also experiencing this this window, right? This window of evaluating scooters, but haven't had pilots. So this is a very golden time for us. And on the right side, we have our revenue forecast. This year, we have a relatively smaller window for operation due to the COVID-19. So we're planning to have about $900,000 as in revenue. And next year, once we grow our fleet size and have more operation, more cities, we're planning to have $28 million in revenue. And in about 2 years, when we have a global or a multinational operation, the revenue is going to go even higher. And I would also utilize this chance to share the opportunity to invest in our company. So if you are interested, we can have a offline meeting. That would be very awesome. And thank you so much for listening to the end. And thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashleigh Kennedy. I am the founder and CEO of Neurovine, a company that's combining neuroscience and machine learning with wearable technology to give concussion patients a smarter recovery. If you or anyone you know has suffered from a concussion, you'll know that the recovery process feels a little bit like you're walking on a tightrope. You'll have clinicians post-diagnosis saying it's good to be a little bit active, doing physical activity and cognitive activity. But you know that if you push yourself too hard, you can regress in your recovery process, getting symptoms if you go back to work too early or if you go back to sport. Recovery can be really dangerous, but concussion patients are alone in this process. And physicians are frustrated with the lack of data they have to guide their patients. And so at Neurovine, we've created technology that can go alongside concussion patients along the recovery process to engage them in their recovery and to provide clinicians with the data they need to make informed medical decisions. Matt and I founded this company based on personal experience and real frustration with the pain point. Before working in wearable technology, I was a postdoctoral fellow at the Toronto Rehab Institute, and I treated concussion patients with EEG technologies daily. And they would do really well in the clinic, and then we would send them home, and they would regress inevitably. And they'd come back to us worse a month later than they were when they left. And Dr. Matthew Kennedy is a general practitioner who is usually the first point of contact for these patients. And he was really frustrated himself at not knowing where the patient was in the recovery process and who he should send them to if they were struggling. Over the past 18 months, we've had over 55 concussion patients come into our clinic to use the technology, and we've heard over and over again the frustration of these patients in trying to figure out what they should be doing to recover. And so we built this technology to go alongside them. It's based on more than 10 years of experience in the field, specifically dealing with EEG and concussion patients. And we have filed 2 patents on the machine learning algorithms behind the algorithms we've created. So again, if you know anybody who's been suffering from a concussion, you know the recovery process and the injury itself is invisible. There are 42 million patients who receive a concussion every year, and only 20% of these people actually receive their concussion in a sports-related environment. Up to 30% of these people will deal with long-term symptoms because they regress in the recovery process. And in the United States, Blue Cross spends $10 billion a year on concussion. That's a typo on the side. It's not 10 million, it's $10 billion a year. Part of which is covering treatments that concussion patients are seeking. The other part is lost wages related to just not being able to get back to their previous jobs. And so obviously recovery regression is a massive component and frustration with concussion patients. Patients are also not able to identify what's triggering them and what's setting them back in the process. And as you can imagine, the mental health aspect of concussion recovery is also very important. People suffer from anxiety and depression with just not knowing what to do and how to get back to the person they were before the concussion. And so our mission is to speed the concussion recovery process by making it visible. We've created a digital transformation of a very subjective concussion recovery process. We use data-driven neuroanalytics to provide real-time data to the patient and to track the recovery process for clinicians so they can make the best decisions for their patients. Our solution combines an EEG headset, a back-end HIPAA-compliant storage system that houses all of our data science algorithms, and a proprietary Neurovine mobile application that allows patients to get real-time data about their brains, to track symptoms and triggers, and to connect with their physician. Our first feature that is released at the end of 2020 is a brain break alert. This brain break alert encourages people to be physically and cognitively active, but uses our neuroanalytics and our machine learning algorithms to warn them when they are overexerting, either physically or cognitively. This prevents recovery regression by getting people active in a healthy way which is shown in the literature to speed recovery, but we warn them when they start to move into a zone of overexertion, either cognitive overexertion or physical overexertion. We also allow the patients the opportunity to register their symptom triggers as well as the symptoms themselves so that they can see exactly how they should be navigating their lives post-concussion. All of these features work to optimize the concussion recovery process. More specifically, they work to reduce the recovery time, improve mental health and engagement of the patient, and it works to equip clinicians to make informed medical decisions. The second phase that will be released in 2021 is a data-driven concussion diagnostic tool that combines balance, a neurocognitive assessment, and EEG markers of concussion. And this is going to be the first training room or field side diagnostic tool, and it's designed for clinicians to make game time decisions about concussion. Neurovine has 3 markets that we are working with. First, the patient, next, organized sport, and finally, military. And this is a big shift, the order in which we're reaching these markets. It's a big shift caused by COVID-19, but actually has allowed us to really see the potential in working directly with patients. So initially, we were going after organized sport first, working with teams and leagues. Since COVID-19 started, sports have been put on hold. And so we've been working directly with concussion patients. We launched all of our clinical trials virtually, and we're actually able to onboard patients remotely and work with them directly. We access patients through concussion clinics and physicians, primary care physicians, or experts in their field who refer them to us. And we provide a software solution as well as mailing them the hardware. So they receive the hardware, and we provide a year license for these individuals for $500. This covers both the hardware and the software. It's important to note that in the United States, there are reimbursement codes for this type of technology so that insurance companies can be involved in covering some of the fees related to the technology that we've developed. And we are conducting randomized control trials that will allow us to move closer to provincial reimbursement in Canada. The next market for us, after we have significant proof points with the patients directly, we will be working with organized sport. Again, that's teams and leagues. And the cost of our software license for these sport will be a percentage of their medical budget. So for example, in the NFL, that's a $100,000 a year license, and it comes with a limited number of headsets. And finally, we started early conversations with DND to monitor their personnel both in Canada and when they're abroad. Neurovine is the only company that is using a data-driven neurotechnology to improve the recovery process for concussion patients. We are beginning, as you can see, with the patient population in 2021, and in 2022, we increase our involvement with patients, and we're looking to 10x our revenue moving into 2023 and double it again in 2024. Since I spoke with you last, Neurovine has filed 2 patents in the United States, 2 provisional patents in the United States. We've completed benchtop trials. We have registered our trials with Health Canada, and we have raised another $250,000. So right now we are sitting at $700,000 raised, and we are looking for another $100,000 at a 3.5 pre-money cap. This allows us to complete our trials and refine our software MVP. We've done a massive project with the NRC to make sure that our user interface is appropriate for concussion patients to use. And so we're just looking to refine a little bit more of that software, as well as really amplify the patient clinical interaction tools that we've developed in our backend. We have one more patent to file, and so some of this raise will be used to do that. And we will register with the FDA. We are a 510K exempt product, and so we can register and actually sell quite quickly after registering with the FDA. So thank you very much for your time. I invite you to join us as we connect patients with their data, connect clinicians with data so that they can help their patients, and connect patients with their caregivers. Thank you very much for your time, and I really look forward to connecting with you on a one-to-one basis if you have further questions.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vince. First of all, thank you for having us here to present our company, Telitek Wireless. Telitek Wireless was founded in 2014, and we have been in the market for 6 years. We are an IoT solution provider focused and specialized in mobile asset tracking and management. One of the areas that we specialize is non-power mobile assets, such as trailers. According to the Ontario Truck Association, as known as OTA, in 2019, there are about 10 million trailers in the market, such as dry van, reefer, flatbed, and container chassis. Most of the trailers are still in a non-tracking status and managed under traditional systems. The existing problems for traditional systems are expensive at every stage and underutilized by inefficient dispatching. So generally speaking, the trailer-truck ratio is more than 3, which means one truck needs at least 3 trailers to operate in a usual way, which is very inefficient. Another big issue is cargo loss and theft. According to the statistic of OTA, Canadian carriers lose and claims more than $1 billion annually and $12 billion a year in the US. Therefore, all those logistic companies now eagerly expect to change the current inefficient legacy systems. However, to change the current inefficient legacy systems, there are a lot of challenges. To solve that, for the past 5 years, Telitek uses its know-how and experience to deal with all these challenges and rolls out the solutions for trailer tracking and management. Today, all these Telitek products are already in the market with tremendously great feedback. For example, our tracker integrated into trailer tail light has been approved by market since we launched. This product features like perfect cover function, easy installations, and the latest wireless network. We also have our other products such as solar power tracking devices for dealing with powerless environments, cargo and temperature sensors, door sensors, and tire pressure monitor systems for safety and security. To support our hardware, we also develop a cloud-based SaaS platform, integrated secure database, and geographic information systems. We also provide customized applications for asset management, reports, and API. Here are some screenshots from our software platform. This is a single chip tracking with speed monitoring, as well as other features such as temperature monitoring if this is a reefer trailer. This is our dashboard showing all different mobile assets. This is our daily report showing all the details such as start time, total distance traveled, speed, and etc. So from these screenshots, the customers have more visibility for their asset management and maintenance. So to summarize our tracking solutions, we emphasize accuracy, secure, maximize utilizations, and cost saving. We are able to bring to our client a visualizable, affordable, and a doable system. In the trailer market, there are many similar products. However, the essential technology is different. Comparing with our other competitors, we are possessing many leading technologies in this industry. For connectivity, except 2G, 3G, and LTE, we are also using LTE Cat-M and NB-IoT, which is the latest wireless network for IoT industry. Battery technology also plays the key role in IoT industry. The common use polymer lithium battery cannot be charged at temperature below 0 Celsius or higher than 40 Celsius. Our own hybrid battery can work properly from -40 to +80 Celsius, which ensures IoT devices are powered at a very wide temperature range. And it has a longer lifespan of 5 years compared with our competitors. Furthermore, installation is another big challenge in this industry. Sometimes the installation cost is higher than hardware itself. Simple installation and good concealed IoT products are more acceptable in the market. Our just fit in and plug and drive features minimize the installation cost. Our products only need about 2 to 5 minutes installation time, while the others needs at least like 30 minutes to 2 hours for installation. Compared to our competitors, we offer to our clients with the most cost-effective products because our low-cost bill of material, direct sourcing, and maintenance via over-the-air. All this make our products more competitive. Except the trailer market, Telitek still has other asset tracking and management, such as temperature monitoring for medical and commercial fridge, non-power mobile asset tracking, and waste bin tracking and management. So this is our quarry management team. Our team consists of experts with leading industrial experience. In the past 5 years, Telitek has grown and accomplished huge achievements. We have launched our solar and hybrid power battery products, waste bin tracking solutions, and most updated LTE series products. We are now ready to expand the market and bring our business to the next big stage. Well, to expand the market, we need to keep the business and sales of products increase substantially. Currently, we have our own stable clients, such as Bell, Ontario Container Transport, and TriLink Logistics. We also have our own long-term stable distributors and partners. We still want to reduce barriers to attract more clients in. For example, since we design and manufacture our own hardware, we can offer free hardware with a fixed-term service contract. We also plan to attend 4 or 5 trade shows a year, be more active on social media. More importantly, we want to make big efforts to build a partnership with network carriers such as Bell, Rogers, TELUS, AT&T, and etc. to increase our sales. In the next 4 years, we are aiming for a big jump in our business. By the 4th year, we are expecting a total of 100K IoT units sold with total revenue of $21.8 million. The projection is based on the following profit models and pricing policies, which is $150 from hardware and $7.99 monthly from service, or free hardware with a 3-year service contract. For service provider partners, we offer $120 for the hardware and $1 monthly from maintenance. At the current stage, we are looking for a $1 million raise by share exchange. This raise is the first round after the initial startup cost. The raise will be used in these 3 aspects: marketing and sales, software development, and product expansion. So this sums up our presentation. Thank you again for your time. If you have any questions, we will be very happy to answer them. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Vienna Zhou. I'm the CEO and founder of TROES Corp. Today, I'm going to introduce TROES, the first energy storage as a service company. Thank you very much for York Angel and LaunchHub to give me this opportunity to present. York Angel is a leading investor of our seed round, and LaunchHub also invested us. So what problems are we solving? As we all know, the grid systems have been existed over the decades. But do you know that there are still 940 million people in the world don't have access to the electricity? Do you know that many places still using dirty and expensive diesel generators to make electricity? Those pains are not yet solved. New pains come due to the aging power infrastructure, electrification of everything, and higher requirements on resilience and carbon emission. For example, have you ever experienced, which I did, a city-wide blackout for hours due to introduction of many electric vehicles? So here we come to help. We're a Canadian high-tech firm dedicated to the development and provision of smart battery energy storage products and solutions for the industrial and commercial markets. Our systems help our clients, typically project developers, power distributors, and end users, to store electricity and transfer it over time and on demand to solve traditional grid pain points, such as high electricity bills, unstable power, and insufficient capacity. TROES solutions are supported by our Internet of Things-based lithium phosphate battery energy storage hardware and cloud-based microgrid control software and hardware. According to the Bloomberg, this market has huge potential. As we all know, a compound annual growth rate of more than 10% is called excellent opportunity. This emerging field is above 25%. We focus on the commercial and industrial, and we start from North American market. TROES was established in the right timing. We commercialized our first generation technology in the year of 2019 and have our first client, a NASDAQ-listed renewable project developer. Within the 2 years, we have sold 2.4 megawatt-hour system from 7 systems to the clients in Canada, US, and the UK, gaining $1.6 million order. We have positive earnings last year, and most importantly, our expansion phase will be driven by the over $50 million pipeline. We have a very strong team to make things happen. Myself, with dual master background of mechanical engineering and MBA, recruited by the Fortune 500 company called United Technologies as management trainee, and have served for years as one of the executives and the top performers. I own a unique cross-disciplinary experiences and know-how in engineering, manufacturing, renewable energy, and sales marketing. My other key team members are diversified with relevant domain expertise in the software, capital markets, electrical equipment, and marketing and sales. We also have a strong board members like Nicholas Parker. He coined clean tech and bring this concept in the earliest stage to the capital markets. He by himself mobilized $6 billion in clean tech industry. Angelo is a former director of National Research Council Canada. Both of them have reviewed thousands of clean tech companies, and luckily, both of them invested us as well. In terms of the competition, here is a map for your better understanding why we're special. We are actually in a very unique positioning and filling the market gap. When the lithium battery is introduced originally to make energy storage several years ago, some leading manufacturer brands such as Tesla, Siemens, BYD, they have sensed the big opportunities and started to enter the utility market. Meanwhile, they also aim at residential market since both markets are featured with scale production. There are other new technologies either not commercialized yet or have limitations in entering mid-market due to the energy density problem. So there's always a market gap in this area, which I call the mid-market, are yet to fill and is underserved. So why it is hard to other brands to serve this market? Since the market requires solutions to satisfy both scalability and customization. And if you look at the other brands, you'll know that it's not their strategy. They are the heavy asset company and they aim at high inventory return rate. TROES mid-market tailor-made hardware and software composed of the modular unit, which could quickly scale up and scale down and spliced into customizable off-the-shelf products according to the different needs of the industrial and commercial markets. So here is where we are. Most importantly, actually, we are reinventing the market rules in the target market. Typically, the development of the small to medium-sized project has the same cycle and complexity with larger projects. Margin will need to be shared with many chain links, like those. That is why project developers tend to go for big projects. While our technology platform integrates all these values from chain links, so we could help bring the development cost down and shorten the life cycle a lot by removing all these links. In that case, many projects under the water which doesn't have business case started to appear and make sense. So we can remove the consulting link, the software link, the integrator link, and the customer don't need to worry about operation post-installation. For the developers, what they need to do is just 3 steps. identify the project opportunity, find us, and done. What needs to be emphasized here is this is built up based on our proprietary technologies. This set of technologies are clearly positioned for the industrial and commercial markets to achieve this goal. First of all, our modular hardware for this market has passed the world's highest safety standard. It can be quickly scaled up and scaled down like Lego pieces. We also have a patented dual equilibrium battery balancing technology, which can extend the life cycle of the system and increase the return on investment of the project. Second, our microgrid platform, which is a very powerful platform, integrates all the values from chain links, including the consulting, software, integration, and operation. It includes a software for sizing and designing the system, a set of hardware and software for autonomous operation, and a set of software that provides remote monitoring and management. The technology platform is also under patent protection. More importantly, our asset-light organization structure support us to sell energy storage system with standard customized solutions. We have several revenue streams beyond one-time equipment sales and one-time study and commissioning revenue. We also have recurring revenue from life cycle, maintenance, monitoring, operation, and possible value-added end-of-life services. This recurring revenue will expand our one-time revenue by more than 3.5 times, which means today we sell $1 of the equipment. We actually have already locked down another $2.5 of the recurring revenue for tomorrow. We plan to further promote from 3 segments market as a go-to-market strategy. There are off-diesel solution, EV charging demand support, and local distribution zone demand support. We adopt the 80-20 principle as B2B sales model, 80% through the sales agents and exclusive distributionship, 20% are self-owned key accounts. At the same time, we have created joint solutions with multiple financing institutions to provide flexible financial support. Also, we're supported by a group of global investors with the same passion. Like Dak Rogers Family Trust is one of the famous investors in Western Texas. They invested us in 2 rounds. York Angel Investors, they are second largest angel investment group in Canada, and Artisan is the largest early stage venture capital in Australia. For this round, we aim at $1 million raising. We almost close 77% with a combination of equity, debt, and grant. The money will be used to scale up sales for our existing products, further R&D on our second generation system, and the promotion of our key solutions as I just described. We're on the way to close our seed round. This is the right technology at the right time, and I'm leading a right team to execute. We have 1 month left for closing. So anyone is interested in this business, don't miss this opportunity. Thank you very much. This is the contact information. You can contact us. Thank you again.
Hi everybody, my name is Wu. I'm the founder of LiveCity Virtual Concert Assistant. During the COVID-19, the global music industry facing a very difficult situation. All the concerts around the world have been cancelled. What we gonna do about this? Here, LiveCity will provide you a solution for this situation. Everybody know the COVID-19 have impacted world a lot, especially the music industry. My friend in the LA told me all the superstars in the LA, they just stay at home and had nothing to do. Everybody in the music industry lost their job. So that's $1 billion lost. Let's see the fact. The global music industry, the market size was $20 billion. And this $11 billion was the streaming market. There's a lot of people try to do the online streaming, but there's some problem in it. First, there's no interactive. Mostly you just like watch the TV. The second, mostly they're free. There's no business model, and it didn't help anything for the musicians. LiveCity virtual concert systems provide a complete and revolutionary solutions for this situation. First, musicians can feel and see it. 300-degree LED video world surrounding AR virtual stage effect, immersive experience. So performers actually can see thousands of headshots in front of him, can feel the applause, feel the screaming from the audience. The second, interactive. Audience could tip, giving virtual gifts, texts, interact with stars between songs, join the game, let the stars see them through the video wall, and then also they can select multi-camera from different angles of the concert. The third, most important, profit. So LiveCity app have a complete system. Audience, fans could purchase tickets through the apps, and they can buy souvenir and giving tips and getting reward through the apps. They will create a closed circle of economics for the online concert system. Let's see the fact of the live streaming market. June 14, 2020, BTS, a famous Korean boy group, have achieved a new Guinness record.
BTS pulled its first ever online live concert off, 방방콘도 Live, by gathering over 750,000 fans from all around the world. On June 14, 6 p.m. Korean time, BTS held its online live concert, 방방콘도 Live, and performed 15 different songs during 100 minutes. Previously, BTS canceled Willful Soul's 7 world tour schedule due to the coronavirus pandemic.
The total ticket sale was $20 million. The fans cover rate was 0.5%. Here is the profit model of LiveCity. We can invite the singers, like have 10 million fans leveled. 0.5 fans convert rate. We have 50,000 tickets sold. $20 tickets, we could have $1 million. After the production cost, the start cost, we could have $500,000 profit. So the second example, we can have a singer of 6 million fans leveled, so we could have profit, 300,000. Here is a list of the superstars that we can reach in L8. We could have the online concert every week. This model not only works for superstars, but also the regular musicians. A digital music festival, they have without any superstar, just local artists. They also made $100,000 a week. Very successful. So everybody will ask, what's the difference from those platforms and LiveCity? So mostly of these platforms, they are only providing a live streaming service. But LiveCity was a complete ecosystems for music industry, including online and offline business model. So as you see, LiveCity has been developed. It is already available at all the app stores. LiveCity app is very powerful app. They have combined a lot of function and is customized for the North American market. So in LiveCity, you can share videos and you can do live streaming. And they have a tipping systems. Like Twitch, you can giving tips and getting reward. Just like Uber, LiveCity have a fans sharing economy. So all the musicians can share the fans together and create a huge fans pool. So in LiveCity, this very important function is the city ranking system, just like Billboard 100. You can find what's the top 10 artists or top 10 band or top 10 drummer, top 10 guitarist in your city. The next step, we will pretty much like Live Nations. We will have all the concert tour, like top 10 concert tour in different cities. They will create hundreds of concerts during a year. Interesting functions. It's pretty much like Google Map. You can find all the lighthouse in your city or in different cities. The musician can send a gift request to the lighthouse to apply for the job, apply for the gig. The platform also can get a cut for the profit. Besides, they have the social media functions. And most important, LiveCity also have the original song to download and also have the ticket purchase systems. I have worked in the events and entertainment industry for more than 25 years. I have done more than thousands events in Canada. And also, I'm an expert in audio visual productions. And I'm also an expert on promotions and marketing. Really important, I was a musician before, worked at a record company, and had done a lot of concerts. Bernard is our marketing chief. He's a famous conductor of jazz big band, and they have worked in this industry for more than 30 years. Peter is our music chief. He is very famous and successful music producers, worked for a lot of big record companies like Sony, Universal. All the visual concert was the best marketing way. Famous star can bring millions of fans, and also the visual concert can bring in profit. It's the best way of marketing. The other most important marketing way is LiveCity Music Award. Create the brand names and authority in the music industry. This is important step to create the ecosystem for LiveCity. We have doing the Toronto LiveCity Music Contest, and it's really successful. Here, let me see the video of the semi-final.
Stone Hour! You guys gotta be louder than that. What a beautiful stage. Let's take a quick minute to introduce you.
Some people say it's started. Not really sure when it happened, but I want you back.
Cause you and I were building castles in the sky.
Flames are dancing round in my mind, and as the embassy.
Our fundraising target was $1 million for give up 20%. For the funding, we will keep develop the app, but most important was using for marketing and sales. We will use for doing the superstars virtual concert to generate the profit for the system. Here's the milestones of LiveCity. Right now, we're looking for the angel investment. In September of 2021, we have 2,000 musicians and 300,000 fans in the system. They will go to the A series. The B series will be September 2022. Our target was 6,000 musicians and 1 million fans. C series was November 2023. We could have 50,000 musicians and 50 million fans and the value of $1 billion. Why us? I have 25 years experience in North America in the music industry. We have done a lot of events in Toronto, like we have built Toronto Kids Fashion Week, Toronto International Youth Dance Festival, and also Toronto LiveCity Music Contest. We have done thousands of events. LiveCity are using all the top-notch technology in the music industries, and we are the expert. Invest on LiveCity. That's the future of music industry.
Join us as we discover a world of live music. Are you an original musician? Would you like to be featured on the LiveCity channel? Submit your videos to us. We can't wait to hear from you. Let your music be heard. And as always, keep it live.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael Yu, co-founder and CEO of Mentors Services Inc., Mentors. And first of all, thank you so much to LaunchHub and York and Zhou to attend this great opportunity to Mentors and myself to showcase our exciting story since we started the last year, 2019 January, of our new business Mentors. And you guys wonder what we do with Mentors. In one sentence, Mentors, we are one-stop youth education solution provider. And our slogan is the best choice for your kids. Before we get into our business plan and what we do, mentors, definitely want to share a quick story of my personal story, as well as the story from my partner, Rena, also today on the Zoom call with all you guys. This is why we started the mentors a year ago. So you can see the challenge to parents. For myself, I'm also a father of 2 lovely kids. My son's 12, my daughter is 10 years old. As a parents in Canada or in the world, we're spending so much time and money try to fund and take kids to trusted, high quality, suitable education, as well as extra curriculum service providers. But sometimes the results are not always as we expected, because there are so many options and the quality from different schools is not very consistent, as well as there's no easier way for us to fund them, right? And the worst thing come to this type of challenge, not only waste our time and money, the most important thing, also the number one opportunity cost is wasting the children's, our lovely kids, their talent and interest. But the challenge also changed during the pandemic or after pandemic for move forward for future since this year, end of March. Because the parents are facing, I believe many of you guys also agree with me, now online education become not only a trending, a new thing, now become a mandatory in our daily life for our kids, children's education, right? Parents now to the new things, they don't know where to find quality online courses. They're not sure about future school gonna start or not opening, how to balance online study combined with offline activities. This is why now these mentors, since a year ago till now, we call mentors 2.0. We add new services, also become mentors. Main products is our online education platform. Now we share with you guys more how mentors can resolve all the challenge or issues to the parents from last year till now during the pandemic. Now we're talking about the potential markets. In North America, there are over 55 million families with children aged from 4 to 18 years old. And over half they're middle class. The size of the market, only North America alone, there are over $50 million US dollar. Not even considering the huge market in China, in Asia, or in the world. There are no one-stop online course providers in the markets. This is why 4 to 18 years old children family became our mentors' main target market. Following the potential market, that's a mentor's value proposition. We are one-stop youth education solution provider and a platform with all kinds of online courses, with school information, including rating and review, as I mentioned, to help all the parents find and locate a trusted education provider, as well as professional services and offline events to meet all the education needs of the parents and the students in an easier and the most affordable way. Our mission statement is to be #1 trusted one-stop education solution provider for all the parents and students in the world. That's a big dream, but definitely we believe with all you guys' help, our team's dedication, one day we will reach our dream, make our dream come true. Mentors business model or business flow, we are in the middle, you can easily tell. On the left is our customer base. There's a family with 4 to 18 years old students. On the right side, the two main parts of this business model. One, we connect all the parents with high quality education providers, institution teachers. They are also our supplier. All the schools supply us high quality courses, teachers, classes. And in the bottom, that's how we get into the market. We sell our online courses, products through channel partners and resellers. That's a mentor's business model. We are in the middle as a one-stop platform, connect parents with all the education providers in the world. So people will definitely, you all will be wondering how we make money. Very simple and easy. After the pandemic, 80 to 90% of our revenue comes from online courses sales. That's also why current mentors is a 2.0. We offer all kinds of different all-in-one online courses covering arts, sports, academy, music, all different online courses. So far we have over 100 online courses already since the end of March and April this year. And average revenue per family is $750 per year. It's a very conservative estimation. Actually, every year our current members spending way more than $700 per year to mentors. And another tool will be VIP membership selling. That's $120 per year annual charge, as well as a B2B to all the schools, institutions. They pay us $500 to $1,000 annually for our advertising on mentor platform, as well as a trade show. They buy in the booth from our mentors education show. That's our 3 revenue stream. Go to market, as I mentioned, we heavily rely on our channel partners. For now, because of online education, because the internet can reach everywhere, and the pandemic, the high demanding from family parents, we already quickly reached to not only across Canada, Vancouver, Winnipeg, Quebec, also into a US market. We also have parents, believe it or not, during the very only 1.5 year business, we have families take our online courses even from China, from Shanghai. We're talking to potential channel partners from Shanghai, Beijing, San Francisco, Vancouver, all over the map. We're growing really fast nowadays. This is why I need extra help from you guys to boost our continued growth. And the second thing, we're definitely utilizing digital marketing, SEO, Google services, SEM, social media. And the mentors education show every year, hopefully pandemic will be ended very soon. We're gonna continue to organize our education show. That's one thing to get our reputation, brand name, as well as acquire more customers. Parenting events, parenting seminar, music concert, many things we organize. We're gonna do this still all year long after the pandemic. That's our go-to-market strategy. Couple main points of what make mentors different or our advantage. One is we are one-stop shopping with all kinds of online courses, as I mentioned. And also, we really focus on customer service. We understand all the parents' needs. This is why we custom design different courses to meet their requirements. And our stickiness with customer and reputation is very strong. We're really quick to market. That's also our advantage. From these slides, you can tell. Our traction, so far we have over 150 schools partner working with us, serving over 2,000 members. And one thing really proud this year so far, we launched the online courses, 2 programs you highlight here, Mentor Future Class and Mentor Future Camp. Now, year-to-date revenue already doubled last year same time. That's a very big success so far we achieved during the pandemic. And there's also some events we organized from this year trade shows. This slide showed our many classes you can see from the flyer and the many events organized from last year Carnival, badminton, and one picture on the bottom, you see our online courses, how the Zoom class look like. This is some schools like UCC Upper Canada College, Massillon over here. Management team, Michael is me. I graduated from McMaster University almost 20 years ago. I'm not young anymore. My background mainly in the corporate sales and marketing, and my partner Rina mainly in the computer science and the IT field, as well as the financial. This is why we have very strong management team to take mentors to next level. 3 years projection with the ARPU I mentioned and 8% conversion rate and the gross margin between 25 to 40%. We're looking to till end of next year with the funding coming in, we're getting 10 times larger of a customer base, 20,000 customer base with over 1 million revenue, and then first year will be break even. That's our 3 years goal. This time we're looking for $400,000 funding, and we'll be spending in the 3 areas. You can tell we're building an online one-stop online learning system, and also product development. We'll take around half of our funding, and other half of spending on building a bigger team, stronger team, as well as channel partners. And last not the least is our digital marketing advertising to acquire more customer, more business. That's how we use the funding this time. At the end, hopefully you guys, some of you can join our team. Let's work together to make our dream come true very soon. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Erin and I'm the co-founder and CEO at Willful, and I'm excited to be here at York Angels Demo Day to tell you a little bit more about what we're doing. So I first want to start by introducing you to my co-founder, Kevin. The idea for Willful started a few years ago when Kevin's uncle passed away unexpectedly. Now, despite the fact that he had been married for over 40 years, Kevin's uncle had never discussed end-of-life planning with his wife or family. So Kevin and his relatives were left with unanswered questions and a mess to navigate. Now, despite the fact that most of us will have to wrap up a loved one's life at some point, most Canadians don't have an estate plan in place to make that a smooth process. In fact, 2/3 of Canadians don't have an up-to-date will, and 2/3 of parents with minor children, arguably the group that needs them most, do not have a will. Wills dictate who gets your assets and who takes care of minor children and pets when you pass away, and not having one results in the courts making those decisions for you. Not to mention, it means families arguing and money and time wasted on taxes and legal fees. That's why we built Willful. Our vision is to create an end-to-end digital platform that helps people not only prepare for their passing, but deal with the death of loved ones in a digital age. Our software makes it easy, affordable, and convenient to create a legally binding will online from home in less than 20 minutes for a fraction of the price of visiting a lawyer. So how does it work? Well, think of us like the TurboTax for estate planning. We work with estate lawyers in each of our active provinces to create all of our legal content from the ground up, so they meet provincial regulations. Our customers then answer a series of questions about their unique life situation, and our logic-based platform builds them customized documents that they can then go through the process of printing and signing in order to make them legally valid, all for anywhere from $99 to $249, which is about 4 to 5 times less than visiting a lawyer at the very least. We have hundreds of 5-star reviews talking about how our process is unbelievably simple, and it's helped people check this nagging to-do off their list. And we've launched in 7 provinces since launching in late 2017. And we plan to launch in Quebec later this year, and we'll be live across Canada in early 2021. Now, we're a B2C company, but we distribute through a lot of partnerships with benefits providers, insurance companies, and other fintechs. And we're excited to announce some really big partnerships in the coming months. We've also been featured by pretty much every media outlet in Canada. Estate planning, as I'll talk about later, is a really top of mind topic right now. And so we've been fortunate to build brand trust through all of these reputable third-party media outlets. In fact, we were on the cover of Canadian Lawyer magazine in October of 2019. To date, since launch, we've sold over 30,000 documents to Canadians, totaling over 1.3 million in lifetime revenue, and a growth rate of 22% a month, not including the COVID bump, which I'll speak to later. And earlier in 2020, this is what our growth trajectory looked like. Now, we had great unit economics back then. We had a blended customer acquisition cost of $40 on an average sale price of $190, and about 75% of our traffic and conversions were coming to us through organic sources, unpaid sources, thanks to all of our efforts in brand marketing. Now, how big is the market? Well, there are 16 million Canadian adults who don't have a will in Canada, and about 90% of them would be the right fit for our platform. So even if we just kept on selling online wills, we could be a business that has 14 million potential customers in Canada. But we have much bigger plans than just selling wills, which I'll get to a bit later. In terms of the competition, our biggest competitor is procrastination, people just not having a sense of urgency around completing their wills. But when it comes to other players in the online space, there are alternatives like legalwills.ca and formalwill.ca. We believe our user and brand experience stands heads and shoulders above them. And we also are the only company that offers free updates on your will because we plan to build the lifetime value of our customers in different ways. So our biggest conundrum to date has always been, how do you create a sense of urgency around something that doesn't feel immediate? People tend to procrastinate on this. In fact, if there are 100 people watching this right now, I bet 2/3 of you don't have a will, and many of you are thinking, this has been on my list for a long time as well. Well, COVID, unfortunately, provided that sense of urgency. As soon as COVID hit in mid-March, we saw an influx of traffic and sales from people who said this had been on their list forever, and COVID was really the reminder that they needed to get it done. And we saw 500% month-over-month increase in website traffic in April, as well as 450% increase in sales. So fortunately, we were a business that did see a positive sales impact because of COVID. And our growth trajectory all of a sudden looked very much like this. Now, we wanted to add value during COVID, and our brand is all about empowerment and peace of mind. It's not about fear and anxiety, although we always know that there are people coming to us for those reasons. So we decided to add value by giving away free plans to healthcare workers. We've given away over 2,500 to date, and we had some amazing feedback from people who told us the stories of being on the front lines and being able to check this off their list. And we're actually still giving out healthcare plans today for free. So if you know any healthcare workers, please let them know about this offer. COVID also highlighted something really important that will define the future of Willful, that we're limited not by technology, we're limited by the law. As soon as COVID broke out, it became really difficult for people to go in person to lawyers and to take care of printing their wills when people lost access to printers, signing and witnessing in person with people who weren't in your household. And the government did respond by implementing virtual witnessing, but it's only part of the emergency order. So at Willful, we've really galvanized the support of consumers to call on the government to amend laws to allow for digital signatures on wills, online storage of wills, and permanent virtual witnessing using platforms like Zoom. We really see ourselves as a thought leader here. And not only do we think this is absolutely mandatory for consumers from a consumer experience perspective and to make it easier to get a will finalized during COVID, we also think it's a chance for us to increase our competitive advantage by offering online signing and storage of wills to our users for an extra cost. And that's really our vision. Our vision is not just to be an online will company. Our vision is to be the go-to consumer brand in Canada for anyone who is preparing for their own passing or for families wrapping up an estate. Think of a brand that you associate with end-of-life planning or with executor tools. I bet you can't name one. And with my background in consumer marketing, I know that we can fill that void. We have an amazing team that's actually outgrown the photo on this slide. We're approaching 13 people, just hired a partnerships manager and a new software developer to help build out the new revenue lines. And we also have a team of legal experts across the country who not only provide answers on legal questions and make sure our content is up to date, they also provide a ton of trust for our customers that they can trust in the documents that they're receiving. I'm actually not here today asking for funding. I was at the January investment meeting asking for funding then, so I want to thank the investors in the audience led by Firdos who put money into Willful and who trusted us to execute on the vision we talked about pre-COVID. We actually closed a $1 million funding round led by Tactico out of Montreal, who's helping us with our Quebec expansion, with participation from our existing investors at Real Ventures, as well as some investment from York Angels. And we also have some angels and friends and family that previously gave us investment in the past. So what are we doing with that funding, and how can you help if you're watching and you're either an investor in Willful or you're just someone that wants to see a York Angels portfolio company succeed? Well, we are embarking on building more partnerships. So if you have connections at fintech companies or life insurance companies, banks, group benefits providers, anyone that could benefit from bundling a will with their product or recommending it to their customers, we'd love an introduction. We're also working on new revenue generating product lines. So if you know anyone that's working on interesting things in the estate planning space, we'd love to chat with them. And finally, we're looking at marketing. So you can always share a link with your friends and family and help them check this to-do off their list. So again, our vision is really to ensure that Canadian families are not left with a mess to clean up. We are about to go through the largest wealth transfer in Canadian history, and there's going to be a lot of people like me who are wrapping up the estates of their loved ones. And our goal is to hopefully make that process a little bit easier. So thanks again for having us today, and we're really excited to be one of the York Angels portfolio companies. You can reach me at erin@willful.co, and we really appreciate your support.
And thank you, everyone. That was great to see all of those great presentations. We're going to bring all of our founders in for the next portion of the day, which is going to be the Q&A session. So if all the founders can turn on their cameras, and that will put you up on the screen in front of everybody, and then you can keep your mics muted and then turn on when we ask a question. I think we've got most of our founders there.
Yeah, hi, Galen. I found some problem of turning on the video.
Oh, I think Sendu is going to have to make every one of you available to do that. So he'll slowly turn on everybody's abilities and their cameras on. So for those in the audience, we have some questions that have come in. We have a couple of questions ourselves that we'll post to everybody. Please feel free to continue to post questions in the Q&A area, and then Wei and I will moderate the question and answer period. We did get a bunch of comments, and as I mentioned at the beginning, we expected some technical difficulties. It looked like because we had all of these done on video, that the streaming end of it ended up taking up a lot of bandwidth, and so ended up with a bit of a blurry screen. I guess the technology dealing with these days, I think we probably taxed out Bell and Telus and Rogers are probably very upset with us for the amount of bandwidth we took there. So for the Q&A area section, just to make for a sense of time for all the founders, with the questions, if we can kind of keep the answers sort of short and crisp, that way we'll get a chance for everybody to get some interaction with the audience. And again, thank you all very much for putting this all together. We really appreciate the effort you went to get your videos done there. So I think we've got most of the cameras turned on. There's just a few more that are coming in. So while we're waiting, Richard, I'm going to start with you. Just going to go from the top. We did have a couple of questions that came in for you, and let me just kind of back up here. From one of our attendees, I've seen and used this technology in Paris and other cities. Uber is one of the players in this market. What is the competitive advantage over Uber or Lime that are now active? And are you potentially warming up to markets, warming up to the markets for them and proving the viability of the markets?
Can everybody hear me? Good? Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that's a great question. Yeah. Right now, so let's talk about the defensibility of the product. I think one of the great, I think the key point here, a lot of people overlook, is how the regulation has an impact on this industry. So essentially, for this industry, you can't just come here and just operate. The most important thing is to secure the permit from the government, and that's where our differentiation comes in place, right? So our differentiation is, first, we have innovative technology to improve the safety of the service. Second is we have built a better product that is enhancing a lot of safety features. So we are tackling down the issues that government worrying about. So that is safety and also parking issues. So we're tackling down those problems for the government, and because of that, government will be more willing to, give us the operational permit, and that is what is happening right now. Right now in Canada, there's only 2 cities that is allowing e-scooter, which is Calgary and Ottawa. And for these 2 cities, we both secure our permits, and we have a great government relationship with the officials there. So in terms of the defensibility of the business, government relationship will be our key. So I'm not sure if that answered your question, but no, we're not warming up the market for our competitors. In fact, our competitors, they have been spending a lot of time and money on lobbying, and we're just here being a better and greater Canadian company. And once the opportunity opens up, we're just gonna be there and capture the market share. And let me continue. I also saw another another question coming from Wei that is similar to the previous question. That is any strategy to fend off new competitors. So one of the things that I mentioned is government relationship and having the permit. And because we have been doing a lot of innovation in terms of technology, for example, lower speed zone or first timer speed limit, or the higher safety standard of the scooter. So these standards that we put out actually become the new standard for the permit. So any kind of new competitors, if they want to enter the market, they will have to meet with those requirements. And it's not that easy to meet those requirements. And second is that for all of the cities that we're currently talking to, they all agree that there should be a limit on the permit. So they're not just going to allow as many as possible into the market and ruin the market. They will only limit the permit to 2 or 3 permits, and they will only allow a certain number of the number of the vehicles. So we don't worry about any competitors since we're the only Canadian company that is operating in those cities. And the next question,
Richard, I'm going to cut there just so we can make sure we get questions for everybody.
Right.
And we may come back to that one. So, Wei, I know you had a couple of questions for Ashleigh that you had posted up. So if you wanted to ask a couple of questions for Ashleigh there.
Yeah, sure. Hi, Galen. Hi, Ashleigh.
Hi.
Good to see you again. Yeah, so I guess my question was after listening to your presentation again, I just want to get a closer sense of how are you adapting to the COVID impact to the professional sports area that you were initially targeting on, and are there any results that you can share from the local clinics trials?
Yeah, so we were going after sports to target the team doctors and clinicians. And so the way that it works is the professional sports team doctors typically oversee the local university and have their own concussion clinic. And so it was a really nice way for us to start interacting with these decision makers. And when COVID-19 hit, of course, sports were put on pause, but concussion clinics still continued to treat their patients. At first virtually, but opened up quite soon to actually see patients in person. And so those initial connections that were through professional sports, we've been able to continue fostering, but we're actually working with their patients in their clinics as opposed to with their athletes. So it's been a really nice shift for us. And as we've made this shift, we realized the value in going after these clinics first, even before sport. So particularly in the United States, there are billing codes that reimburse for technologies like the one that we've developed. And so it's a really nice model to access concussion patients going through these physicians and clinics first. So it was a timely shift for us to start focusing on the concussion clinics, but I think it's actually a really smart decision to focus there first. That being said, we have continued to foster our relationships with team sports. There's a lot of bubble events going on right now that we're looking to be part of. So the sports world is continuing to move forward, but again, our interest is connecting with the clinicians that oversee concussion management for those teams. And was there a second part to that question? Oh yes, yeah, so the trials that we're completing. Yeah, so we've got a randomized control trial, and that is launching, right now and early in the fall. That clinical trial, it's a year-long trial, and it's the last step for us before we get our regulatory approval and start selling the technology. And so we're looking to disseminate the preliminary results of that trial late fall probably, but we're finding that the patients who are using the technology right now are really benefiting from it, and the clinical trial recruitment is our focus right now.
The results are positive.
Yeah, so far. So the mental health aspect is the most encouraging, so improving anxiety and depression for these patients. That's kind of that's one of the exciting aspects that we're focusing on right now. And of course, the mission for the technology is to speed the recovery process.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Great. And I've got a question for the Telitek team. Just wanted to understand, how do you plan to grow outside of Canada? What are the routes that you'll take to get outside of Canada? I think you're on mute there, Truman.
Truman, you're on mute.
Can you hear me, everybody?
Yes, we can hear you.
Good. Thank you. Right now, we start from the Canadian market, but we plan for the outside of Canada, especially for America. So this year, we plan have the trade show in United States, but during, as a reason of the virus, so that trade show is postponed. But we still use the online tool and internet we promoting. So far we have some clients in the United States, and we will keep develop the market in the US. Yeah, because there's really big markets for us. Yes, that is our plan.
Great. Okay, super. Thank you. And then for TROES, Vienna and Dennis, congratulations, first of all, on wrapping up your round of funding. I think you guys just closed off a big chunk of that recently, which is great. Wanted to understand a little bit on your sales cycle, and what, first of all, your go-to-market strategy, and on who do you target for your customers? What type of customers, and then once you find those customers, how long is that sales cycle to close those customers?
So Dennis, maybe I take this question. So typically our customers actually, we use a 80-20% rule, which means 80% will go from our channel partner. Most of them will be the project developers, engineering firms, engineering contractors, energy efficiency, the engineering firms. Those will be our client. And on the other side, the 20%, we will go directly to some of the key accounts, such as a local distributor, local distribution company, and utility companies. So it's 80-20% rule. Galen, you mentioned about the second question is the cycle, right? So in terms of the selling cycle, so we do have actually long selling cycle in this industry is from the 6 months to 18 months. But actually, because of our technology, right now we're using the modular hardware and modular software design. So we kind of play, the design in a very quick way. So our customers don't need to talk to so many interlinks. They can just, they identify the opportunity and they come to us, and we can easily help them to bring all the values from the project sizing, planning, to the engineering, to the offering the hardware and the software, to the operation. So we can actually help them to shorten the project life cycle up to 40%. And also we can help them to bring the cost down up to 35%. At least 35%, to remove all these interlinks. So make the things very simple to develop the project. Dennis?
Okay, great. That does. Thank you very much, Vienna. Wei, I think you had some questions there for LiveCity, for Blur.
Yes.
Yes. Hi, Blur.
Yep.
Good to see you again.
Hi, Wei. Yeah.
My question is about connect to the question similar to just with the conversation with TROES, is a go-to-market strategy. And could you elaborate a bit about how about you going to connect with the pop stars to actually perform on your platform?
I have worked in this industry for a long time, so actually we have a lot of connections, and especially like I have my very good friends, it's like lifetime friends in LA that actually work in the music industries for a very long time. They actually have all the connections to all the stars. Like all the name list was up to date. So those name lists they actually were having a super big online concert that in September in LA. They will be involved a lot of superstars. So that's why I got all the up to date information for the industries, actually for the music industries. So it's all up to date. All the numbers, everything is.
So basically, you just need to gather the funds and run to Los Angeles and basically knock at the doors through the agents to be able to speak to the pop stars.
They already have all the contacts, so that's actually it's really not a problem for us.
Good to know. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Wei, I think you also had some questions there for Michael at Mentors.
Right. Michael, good to see you again. My question is related to obviously you are sort of the middleman between the end customers who are the children and parents to a large extent, as well as to the education service providers. And this is a bit of a chicken egg situation, because you need really both of them to be on your platform to get your platform to be really robust. So how do you go about to acquire the end user customers, i.e. the children, and more importantly, the parents? Is Michael there?
I'm here. I'm here, Wei. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm here, yeah. Oh, sorry, I got a little bit disturbed. Sorry, Wei, what's your question again?
Oh, okay. So my question was, how are you going to acquire the end user customers, being the parents and the children?
Yeah, I just answered actually in the Q&A and the chatting room, but three parts, that's our mentors go-to-market strategy. One is for sure, we heavily rely on the digital marketing because we are online education platform, right? So this is why, for example, Google SEO, SEM, social media brought a lot of end user customers, families to us. And second way, as I mentioned in my deck, we work with very closely with the channel partners. We call them a city or country partners from North America, even from China. And that's our second way to reach out to the end users or the families. Another way, if hopefully the pandemic will be end very soon, and hopefully this year we still can host our very famous popular youth education trade show or carnival. Carnival look like almost impossible because summer almost end in a couple months or in 1 month. And the trade show or offline event, that's one main thing for us offline, directly reach out to our potential customers, to all the family parents. Last but not least, as I mentioned in the chatting room, definitely the word by mouth, especially for youth education. All the parents, special mom in charge, all the education, the schools, the payment for the students, for the kids. So word by mouth is a big thing, and we keep bringing us a lot of new parents family join Mentors platform. That's 3 or 4 ways of Mentors go-to-market strategy and reach out to end users way.
Great. Thanks, Michael.
You're welcome.
And Erin, just wanted to go to you. First of all, again, congratulations. You guys really knocked it out of the park on your raise. And I think COVID has been very positive for your business. So what, I know you had a little bit in there, but if you could sort of articulate a little bit more about, what is your big ask of the audience? Obviously you're not raising right now, but what would be, I know you talked, you had sort of 3 bullets there. Maybe you can just expand a little bit more, but what could the audience really do here to help accelerate your business would be the first question. The second question is, Know that there's competing platforms to you in the US, but is there an opportunity based on the success you've had to actually be able to move into the US, or are there other markets outside of Canada that Willful could actually start to look at?
Yeah, great questions, and let me know if you can't hear me at all. Appreciate you having me today. And again, thank you to everyone in the York Angels audience who heard my pitch in January and who's been so helpful over the past few months. We're really excited to have you as part of the most recent round. On the how can you help, really to me the ask is our biggest challenge is always distribution as a B2C company. And while we have a partnerships manager starting on Tuesday actually, and we have a channel partnership strategy that we're implementing next week, any introductions or even not even introductions, just recommendations within your network, whether that's a corporate partner who might want to bundle Willful with, let's say, a bank account or a mortgage or a life insurance policy, or whether that's just the folks in your network who are mortgage brokers, financial planners, group benefits providers, anyone who's already having conversations with their clients about estate planning. Those are really the army of ambassadors that we're trying to build, because we know that the gatekeepers to clients, and they can really accelerate our word of mouth. So if you do have anyone in your network, we can work with them to offer promo codes, marketing materials to help them encourage their clients to get their will done. And then on the question of the US, that's the $1 million question, literally $1 million question we get from investors all the time. Right now, our approach to it is, we have two opportunities. We can either stay very narrow in our product, just do online wills and expand to other markets and grow the business by expanding geographically, or we can look at creating this suite of products that tackles different aspects of the end of life planning space and grow our market by expanding that way. Right now, if we did expand geographically, we're not sure the US would be the first place we would go for two reasons. Number one, there's very strong venture-backed competition. And number two, we're partnered with those venture-backed competitors. And so as soon as we enter, not only do we have a very expensive marketing landscape in front of us, we also hinder some of the partnerships that are helping drive customers to us right now. People from Canada who visit their site are getting directed over to us. So if we did expand, it would be to a market likely that maybe is a bit smaller, but doesn't have as much competition. For example, Australia, or even some Latin American markets where we've seen demand and heard that there's very little competition. But I'd say for the next year, we're very focused on expanding the revenue generating products that we offer in Canada, and then we'll kind of look to geographic expansion down the line.
All right, that's great. And I've got one question that just came in while we were talking there, and that is, have you talked to Intuit?
We have briefly, but I'm sure we're not talking to the right person. So we always appreciate intros there. And obviously death and taxes, the two things you try to avoid, neither you can avoid. So we absolutely have thought about partnerships with H&R Block, Intuit, even Simple Tax at Wealthsimple. So if you do have anyone there, we would love to chat with them and appreciate any recommendations.
Great. So, Gord, if you do have any contacts, then that would be great. And I think Erin would. We can always connect you through York Angels. So, I have another question from an audience member here for back to Richard. How do you handle the GPS location retrieval problem in urban areas? This is a known problem with Lime, Bird, and Jump, which is now defunct. When retrieving the e-scooter to recharge, the GPS system says the e-scooter is in one place, but it's really in another. It could be sometimes up to a kilometer away.
Right. Yeah, thanks again for the question. It's a great question. So yeah, that is a known problem. Yeah, and that's why we actually developed our own IoT component. So when we founded this company back in March last year, after that, we spent a lot of effort in hardcore engineering of the scooter. And yeah, IoT is a big part of it. And we talked to a lot of vendors and a lot of partners, and the performance is not that good, right? It has the accuracy problem, but we went ahead to develop our own IoT component. Right now is more accurate. The accuracy error is about 5 to 10 meters, depends on the area. So in the downtown area with big buildings, Right now, the arrow's around 10 meters. So we're doing pretty well there.
All right, great. And just now, this is a question for Telitek coming in saying, the hardware, wondering if you've looked at a model where the hardware would be free in your model. And that's for Truman. Oh, you're on mute there, Truman.
Truman's still on mute. Yeah.
Thank you for the questions. Yes, so for the free hardware is one of our marketing strategies. If we got enough funds raised, so we want to reduce the barrier to enter for our customers. Because for the transportation industry, the customers don't want to put a lot front cost when they invest for the GPS tracking and fleet management. So we want to try to reduce the barrier. So we can provide for the free hardware, but with a fixed term, like the 3 years contract. So we will cover our hardware cost from the monthly service fee. And also, all this hardware is manufactured by us, so we can provide affordable cost for from the hardware. So that is one of our marketing strategies to get more customers into our platform. Thank you, Galen.
Great, thank you, Truman. Appreciate that. Ashleigh, for you, your original go-to-market was with the professional sports teams, and obviously with COVID, that caused a pivot for you to move away from that. When do you see the opportunity, now that sports are coming back, when do you see the opportunity to start approaching that market? That's number one question. And the number two is on the military side. What do you have any indication yet of the sales cycle on the military end, and are you looking at any military operations outside of Canada?
Sorry.
Thanks, Galen. Yes, so our main focus again it's the doctors, and so our main focus is selling into these clinics. At the same time, our randomized control trial involves several professional sports teams and local universities. And so we're already working with those physicians who manage professional sports teams now. And so I think while the focus is building out the go-to-market to actually sell to patients through clinics, the professional sports market will evolve naturally as sports begin to open up again. And so for soccer, the season's on right now. We're working with professional soccer teams right now with some beta trials. And so while professional sports is on the back burner, we are continuing to stay very much in touch with those coaches and those trainers, and they're using the tech and giving us feedback. So when it opens up, basically the answer is when it opens up, we'll be ready to sell to those professional sports teams because we've maintained relationships with the physicians. So I hope that answers the question clearly. Yes, and in the military, we are not just working with the Canadian military, but we're looking into the United States as well. So we've got several connections into the military in the United States. And special ops is kind of our focus, both in Canada and the United States. So their sales cycle is faster. The individuals are already equipped with all types of biometric monitoring technologies, except for around the brain. And so in special ops, there really is a need to make sure these people are being put back into the field healthy. and they can move quite quickly from the initial conversations that we've had.
Great, thank you very much. That's great, Ashleigh. Wei, I think you had a question for TROES. Oh, you're on mute there. There you go.
Hi, Vienna. I have a quick question is on TROES was related to the development in the 5G network. And there's obviously a need on the battery side. And do you see any opportunities for TROES in that particular field?
Oh, that's a good question, because we just actually it's good news for us. We just got the the funding from OCE 5G program, and that we actually will collaborate with OCE and the Ryerson University in terms of applying our battery energy storage and our microgrid controller system into the 5G scenario, which the 5G can help us to the speed up the interaction between our system and the clients and the system, and also speed up the communication between our hardware and software. It will be a very good support to us for us to bring up the next generation of the battery energy storage system.
That's great.
Yeah,
so that's
also,
on the funding side. What about on the customer side, on the user side? Are there anything?
Yeah, the 5G, actually there are two applications in 5G. One way is how 5G can help us to improve our product. That is one way. Another way is how our technology can help the 5G tower. That's another way. The funding actually is supporting us on the first side. And the second side is actually our battery technology system combining with the renewable energy system can provide an independent off-grid power for the 5G tower, which is remote or need to be powered as no matter as the emergency power system or as a regular running power system if there's no grid connection or coverage. So we actually for the second side actually we're trying to work with some of the 5G distributor company to bring this solution to the 5G tower to power the remote systems.
Great, thanks.
Thank you very much for your question.
And Blur, I've got a question for you on LiveCity, which thank you very much for the very interactive video, by the way. Lots of good imagery in that. How do you see LiveCity continuing beyond COVID? You've obviously got a solution that fits in the environment today, and I think that there is a really great opportunity because people are missing live music, and it will be one of the last things to come back, I think, through COVID. But how do you see your product continuing beyond COVID? So once let's assume 2 years down the line or 3 years down the line, we've got a vaccine and people are back to normal. How does LiveCity continue on from there?
I will say like this is actually after the COVID-19, I believe like this kind of the live streaming will become like part of the it's kind of like they were still there as part of the they will not like totally like instead of the live concert, right? Live concert is kind of replaceable, but there will be kind of new form of the way for the live streaming. Because you can see when at my presentation, right? For one of the live streaming, they create actually like 20 million for the Korean group. They almost created the record because usually the offline concert, you cannot reach that high level of their business, right? So that means like this kind of live streaming could provide another weight, and especially I believe after like the 5G technology, after the 5G have more popular in North America, maybe after 1 year or 2 years, I believe this kind of live streaming they only will be grow up more and more. And at the music industry or the entertainment industry, they already like 55% was live streaming right now, and they can foresee they will go to after the 5G they will go to even 60% to 70%. The whole world's entertainment was actually all live streaming. So I will see like this market of live streaming, like this kind of virtual concert, they will keep going for sure. That's my point of view.
Great. All right. Thank you. Yeah, and once people get a feel for this live streaming, you're right. There may be a good opportunity for that to continue on. And then I've just got one more question here, and that's for mentors for Michael. Do you have any, or have you started to experience any churn at this point in time with your channel partners or your customers? So are you, it sounds like you're onboarding quite a few customers and channel partners, but are you seeing some of them leaving the platform, or are you having pretty stable growth?
Yeah, hi, Galen. That's a very good question, Galen. So far not yet, because as I mentioned in my deck, the Mentors online platform just started since end of March or beginning of the pandemic, right? That's for now, so far we're growing very steady every month by month, and every week, actually not only every month, every week we introduce a new class, new courses to all our audience, right? So far, actually more and more channel partners would like to join Mentors, and this way keep me very busy, and every day talk to the potential partners, resellers, as well as lots of parents. They just reach us from all the world directly, right? And we don't see any churn so far. Actually, the growing the pace is really actually even more than we expected so far, and the market is really really big. And now we really focus on currently developing more valuable and helpful courses and our products, as well as getting to different markets, because this online education can reach everywhere. One thing, last not the least, Galen, also currently we're mainly teaching all the students around the world by live meeting from different platforms like Zoom, ClassIn, Google, the Google Live Class. But there's also next our stage, we're developing recorded professional done video courses, and this way we can get rid of all the different time zone limitation, and also can give parents more flexibility. So we're also expanding our business model revenue stream. So far it's all good.
Sounds like you could partner with Blur on that too.
Blur and me being friend and business partner friend since like 10 years ago. Blur, just 10 years ago.
Yeah.
My God, I was expecting Blur gonna sing a rock song today. Actually, he didn't sing. He gave a presentation.
Well, thank you again for everyone for joining in. It's great to see the diversity that we have within the group here. Wonderful to see so many female founders of very successful companies and startups. So, you guys are all knocking it out of the park right now. I think doing a great job. I want to thank those who participated and came in on our first virtual demo day. I think, Sindhu, if you can just put up the last slide there. We've got some time booked with everybody. Next week, we have 2-hour time slots that are available. So if anybody does want to meet with any of the founders to have any discussions, I know many of them are looking to do some raises. And so there's a slide there that the times that they've got available. You can use the bit.ly down at the bottom there with startup_meetings. That will bring you to a sheet that will allow you to select which companies you'd like to spend some time with, and then we will connect you together with them through meeting invitations. At this point in time, Willful has not put up anything, and that's because really they're not raising at this point in time. I think if you have potential connections for Willful, if there are partners out there that you believe would be good partners for them, please let us know. You can email me directly at gudell@yorkangels.com, and I'd be happy to connect you with Erin, and she'd be happy to chat with you guys as well if you've got potential partners for her. So again, thank you very much for everybody for attending. Thank you very much to the founders for the work that you guys did to get your videos together. We really appreciate that. It's been a very interesting opportunity for us to put this together. We hope this will not be our last one. We know we had little technical issues here and there, but always any feedback from anybody as well. We always appreciate that so we can make these better going forward. And the support from the startup community is something that we want to make sure that we continue to drive. Wei, any last words on your side?
Oh yeah, thanks, Galen. I just want to also say congratulations to the startups and great presentations all. And I want to thank York Angels for having LaunchHub to be participating in this demo day, and it has been a great success. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day and enjoy your long weekend, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.